All right, hello everybody. Welcome back to this episode of Top 90 Podcast. Thank you for joining us. We are here live. Today we actually have our first in studio, I guess just in general, our first guest. Thank you for joining us. So my name's Garrett. We got today.
Mark, first time on the podcast. Happy to join.
Thank
Only
you.
Ranger fan here, unfortunately.
That's
Yeah.
okay. We need that.
we need that. You can definitely keep us off the Islanders because we tend to stumble back.
Let's
on the
be
Islanders.
real. And my name's Rich, by the way.
Yeah.
We tend to do a lot of complaining about the Islanders.
Yes, and actually yesterday when Mark was asking about the podcast, because we've been trying to get him on, and he's got a busy schedule, and we thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join
Of
us,
course.
and hopefully we get you on more. But he's like, yeah, being the only Ranger fan, don't shit on me, and I'm like, don't worry, we shit on the Islanders more than we shit on anybody else, and we do. We do not hold back on what we think is going wrong with the Islanders. So we're not going to start with the Islanders, but we definitely will digress to the Islanders. Being that Mark is a diehard Ranger fan, I think it's only right that we start out with the old school style fucking brawl that was yesterday's madness to start the Devils Ranger game.
I
So-
missed that, guy. So you're gonna have to
So
go into detail on that.
Once you saw Rempe out there with Goudreau and that's Keandre Miller, I'm like, this is going down. After
McDermott was out there.
yep, McDermott was
Yeah,
out
yeah.
there.
yeah,
That's
once you
happening.
saw who was on the ice, you're like, they dropped the puck. It was no one even moved. They just gloves
just
dropped
gloves.
from 10 guys.
Oh, wow.
Gloves dropped
Yep.
instantly.
And you could see who was in that, Shesterkin, and who was on the other side? Was it
Kakkonen.
Yeah, it was Kaapo Kakkonen.
Yeah, so you could see the two of them wanted to go, and I wonder, it's
kicked his ass.
probably, yeah. I wonder because now that they have the new rule in the NHL where any secondary fights lead to an automatic game misconduct, which is why 8 players, 4 from each side, got kicked out of the game, leading to insane amount of penalty minutes. So I wonder if they would have kicked the goalies out too. Probably, right? If the goalies fought in that situation.
That's advantage Devils,
don't
obviously,
know.
if that happened. But I don't.
I mean, the way Quick's playing, there is no advantage when you have to play the backup goalie for the Rangers. Pretty much for as long as I can remember, there never was an advantage when you have to play a Rangers backup goalie.
Yeah, whether it was Antti Ranta, Cam Talbot, the Rangers somehow groom these backup goalies who
Yeah.
become starters somewhere else.
Yeah,
I mean, Quick's in the twilight of his career, but he's played awesome here.
he's played amazing. Yeah, I mean, even like there wasn't that much expectation for Shesterkin to take over as quickly as he did. He came over with, he was not as touted as say like Sorokin because he all those years waiting, and he won a bunch of KHL championships and all those other things, and there wasn't really that guarantee that he was going to be the next one to take over after Hank, and he just took over. And he's played. He won a Vezina. He won a Vezina. He was down a little bit last year. He's back up on his numbers, even though he's been a little shaky, but still got the Rangers at the top. But yeah, back to that fight. I mean, I guess it stemmed from Rempe throwing what I don't think did he get suspended
I
for that?
feel
hit?
like he did. He got suspended 1 for that, and he got suspended 5 for the next hit he did to the next
The
With the elbow.
Yeah, when
Yeah,
he
the
came
elbow.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, and then he didn't want to answer to it because he didn't get immediately thrown out of that game. He didn't want to answer to it, and I think that's what they were fighting. Because you even saw Travis Green and fucking Peter Laviolette were fucking going at it. And
Yeah.
Rich, when you have a chance afterwards, I know you didn't have a chance to see it yesterday, but they were fucking like they were pissed. And then after I saw that Travis Green basically was saying that this all could have been taken care of if Rempe just would have answered the bell. It's you throw a questionable hit. He ended up getting suspended. If you read these internet sleuths or whatever, some people say that it was bang bang play, which everything is really in hockey. Whatever. Mark, as a Ranger fan, what is your thought on Rempe? Like, honestly.
I don't think it's malicious. I think that just he's old school and that's how he plays. I
I
really
agree.
don't think he's trying to kill somebody, which he almost did with Bastien the first time. and he probably deserved it. Honestly, I don't like that guy whatsoever. I don't like the Devils, of course, at all, but probably a guy who deserved it. But I don't think he intended to like knock him out of the game. I think he's just a big dude, and just certain directions you come at each other, and he's going to hit you. And he's not going to let up.
He came off the bench with so much energy, and he's there to make an impact. He was new to the team, and his job is to go out there, throw the body around, loosen up pucks, and he's a big body in front of the net, and he scored a goal, pretty big goal actually. What was it, his second game?
Yeah, that was
just by being in front of
the net. In front of the net. I mean, look, he's got more goals in the NHL than the three of us combined, and so we can't really say anything. But I
don't think his physical talent as far as this is blocking like the camera a little bit. So
there you go.
This is a Vincenzo shirt, by the way, signed by Adam Fox. So I display that.
Yeah, so
I'll take it out of the bag, but I definitely will not be wearing this ever.
So those of you guys that don't know, we shoot on Long Island, which is the home of a couple of current NHL players, some of which played for the Long Island Gulls, which is a local team. So we were able to get Adam Fox's signature, which is pretty sweet.
There. It's in silver right on the white.
Norris Trophy winner.
Norris Trophy winner. Very nice guy. So I think you guys are absolutely right about Rempe. He's he's definitely out there to spark to get a spark. He's there to throw the body. He's there to win battles, and he's not gonna be a finesse guy. He'll go to the net, and he's just the old school player that the NHL is kind of trying to take out of the game.
It's like a young Ryan Reeves, I guess, which we had. He brought that energy.
Mm-hmm. And the Rangers
just became not a good fit with Ryan Reeves, where they just said, you're not producing enough. So he's younger, so he's probably a little faster.
He gets that a lot.
But it's like Scott Stevens, dirtiest hits I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah,
but they were clean back in the day.
Then
everyone was just like, the answer was no, keep your head up.
Yeah.
But
it was a different style. But I think with the Rangers, they're a team, and also similar to Toronto, where they have a tendency to have been easily pushed around. There were a couple seasons where they were just very soft. The Rangers, and that's what kind of led to them getting rid of that old regime when they got rid of Sather and they got rid of who was their old before Drury came in.
Neil Smith. Gordon.
Coach wise was
you're talking about GM.
GM, yeah.
Drury, wasn't it Sather before Drury?
Sather was like president
forever. He was GM forever.
But then he left and
he left
and he built up St. Louis, and then he left St. Louis, and I think he went to Nashville, I want to say, or somewhere, and then he went back to the Rangers. But I think he was like president of hockey operations.
Why don't I know?
I'm drawing a blank too, and I'm a Ranger fan.
And he wasn't the actual general manager. But there was a point when the Rangers did that.
Jeff Gordon. Yeah, it was Jeff Gordon.
Okay, yeah.
I thought so.
So you remember when the Rangers did that whole supposed rebuild, they ripped the team apart, supposedly. They sent out everybody. They sent the letter to the fans. And then they're like, yeah, we're going to rebuild the team. And then next thing you know, they got fucking Panarin, the top fucking 2 picks back to back.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody else wants to go play for the Rangers. And they went from rebuilding to perennial fucking cup contenders in the blink of an eye. So the part of that reason was because they were soft. So go back to my point was, I think that's why Ranger fans and Rempe is a huge necessity for the Rangers, because they were soft, and then they did bring in Ryan Reeves. They brought in a couple of bigger guys that didn't really pan out, kind of like what Toronto did this season.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Domi. They brought in
Bertuzzi.
Yeah, they brought in Bertuzzi and one other bigger guy. Did they? I don't know, but they brought it. They tried to get bigger to try and basically just.
They brought LaBouche, but LaBouche came back. You just talking forwards.
Just to get bigger, guys to get bigger. Because they're easily pushed around, and that's why Rempe is such an important part of them. And I don't know exactly what their numbers are, but they definitely have a plus record all season. But with him in the lineup, he has.
They showed
I
that
still
number.
have told you he's going to cost us a playoff game. I feel just today's NHL, it won't even be that dirty of a hit. But he'll get a game misconduct, and he'll probably cost us a playoff game. It just sucks in today's NHL. It is what it is. But you can't hit these guys like in a playoff game. You can't do that. No. I have a horrible feeling he's going to cost us a playoff game where they score 2 or 3 goals on that 5 minute.
You know, you could get lucky though, because I feel like maybe he's learned his lesson. It was 2 elbows. The first one, you know, it was that people were saying it's kind of accidental. The second one, people were like, it's on purpose. And you're still thinking like, you know, he just needs to settle down a little bit. Like you say, he's not trying to hurt anybody, but it's just the way he's hitting. He's got to adjust a little bit.
Tom Wilson's out to.
I was just going to say,
a scummer.
Yeah, you scumbag. Yeah,
you see that fucking
and he deserves every suspension he gets
to the fucking face.
Yeah, he took a swing of a stick to someone's head.
Oh yeah.
Toronto.
That's
like
not
that,
one hand. Yeah,
like that shit was nuts. Remember when Chris Simon did that shit to Donald
rest in peace. That
Brashear,
sucks.
to Donald Brashear, and he got a huge suspension for that.
Yeah, and he deserved it.
Absolutely. I'm not saying he
No,
didn't,
the,
but
the kid on Colorado, that was it was Marty McSorley, right? To Brashear, and then
Yeah.
it was
oh yeah,
the
Marty
other
Bashir.
kid on Colorado,
the kid-
Moore, was it?
Yeah, Steve Moore.
Yeah, that was sad. That
Yeah.
was obviously a blatant cheap shot.
Bertuzzi blindside him. It was almost like watching Carl Racky take out Derek Sutton. You know,
Mhm.
it was almost the same exact like level of like dirtiness,
Just,
and
yeah.
that was a movie, and you know,
And Tom Wilson is that type of guy though too.
Yeah.
Rempe doesn't give off that at all.
yeah,
He's
I mean, not
just-
yet. Let's just say because
Yeah,
he hasn't. It's to be fair, the guy's been in the league for not even
2
a full
months,
season,
yeah.
and he's
Right.
already got 6 games under his belt. with
Yeah.
suspensions. That's not like, I want to say that it's just the kid's got a little, like over ambitious, and he's just out there with reckless abandon. And hopefully, like you said, Rich, he does learn, and it's like he curbs it, and he knows when and where to throw the body and how to throw the body. And I mean, but right now he isn't Tom Wilson, but 6 games, and his first one was in February when he played the Islanders in the outdoor game.
Mhm.
Yeah, it was like he got that misconduct, I think, there. Didn't get suspended. Then he did the thing versus Bastia on the Devils.
Mm.
Got 1 game, and then he got the 5 games.
So I mean, they showed his stats. I think he's got like 69 penalty minutes versus
Yeah.
the Devils and like 2 minutes on ice, a minute on
Yeah.
ice, or 30 seconds on ice, some crazy stuff. I mean, I'm not saying take that element out of the game. It's definitely a part of an aspect of the game that I enjoy, and it definitely changes momentum. It's definitely an important aspect, but hopefully the kid will learn and he can be a valuable part of the, it sucks that I'm saying this as a Ranger fan, but you want the kid to have a good NHL career. You don't want him to hurt anybody else, and you want him to, live out his dream playing in the NHL. And hopefully he doesn't, in a couple of years when we're still hopefully doing this podcast, we're not saying, Rempe is a fucking Tom Wilson guy, because
No, I
he
don't
won't be
think so.
around if that's the case. Honestly, he won't be in the league if that's the case.
Yeah, it's too much too soon.
I look
He
at
needs
guys
to
like
fix it quick.
Goddard from back in the day who played on a million teams. He was just, I'm fighting you. And he was just never a swing with the stick to the head, never a punch, never just, I'm dropping the gloves with you. Whether you want to fight or not, I'm dropping the gloves.
Right.
And that was, it's respect to a guy like that. You could use that on your team when, I guess you say you have soft guys. Panarin's very soft-spoken.
Mm.
Mika doesn't say a word. That's why I always respected Ovechkin.
Yeah.
He fights his own fights. You say shit to him, he will drop his gloves and fight you.
Yeah. Ovechkin was always
Mhm.
the guy where you're like, do not hit him because you don't want to wake him up.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
he
like
hit
if he's got
Crosby,
this-
someone big on his team skating over. Ovechkin,
Yeah.
you hit him, he's getting up and he's coming after you.
Oh, and
So
he's like
it's-
230, 40
Yeah.
pounds of
And he will mess
Muscle.
you up.
Yeah. And because he's not a massive dude.
no. He's
So
he's super well conditioned.
So just going back to Tom Wilson real quick, because the one thing is Tom Wilson has a couple of, he's shown sparks, like he's shown sides where he's got an offensive game,
Yeah,
which is why he's been able to
he's
stick
better than
around.
usual fighters.
You know,
for
like
sure.
this is, but he is
Scoring-wise.
he's still a dirty fuck. You
He
know,
was
like,
behaved for a while. I thought he was done with this.
he was doing really well most of the
It's
season.
probably been like a year and a half there. He hasn't done anything.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it just feels like a while. But even Marchand,
He had
Like
that hit on
Marchand.
the Rangers last year, though. I wanted to kill the guy. It was such a dirty shot against the Rangers too, and he doesn't like you. And he just, instead of let's drop gloves, he finds a different way, and it's uncalled for, honestly.
So he's had a couple of 20-goal seasons. He'll probably hit 20 this season.
No, for sure. He's not a fighter. He's a hockey player.
He's a high, yeah,
but
but he's a goon.
Makes
you know?
stupid decisions.
He's definitely. I mean, most
You're
of his
killing your
career,
team. They need you too.
yeah, most of his career he's been in over 100 penalty minutes, and every year that he hasn't, he's been.
Even this year spiked up to
Just
50 extra penalty minutes than last year. I see.
So I mean, yeah, no, the guy. It is what it is.
these in the end, it's funny because like there's Tom Wilson, like you said, dude, there's questionable plays. Right, some of these players repeat offenders.
Cousins.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah.
Cousins is
Yeah.
the number one guy
Hated
up there right
Yeah.
now. He's the one that everyone wants to go
Yeah.
after.
I think they did a poll, and I think Cousins was the number one hated player. And
He's done a lot of dirty
Lot of
like
dirty,
things, and he just plays like a slimy game.
Yeah.
But
and it's weird because that's not really the Panthers game.
No.
You know, so it's like because I don't know what his exact stats are, but it's not like he's.
I feel like they view him just as like a better Rempe, though. That it's Barkov doesn't open his mouth.
Yeah,
You got Ekblad. That those
they
guys
do
just
have.
don't.
I guess they have a lot of guys. that are-
Reinhardt. They have like
that
a
are
great
smaller,
team.
softer.
Yeah.
They need somebody who's going to be, and they will. You know, Gudis was a guy that last year who was a bigger, you know, threw the body around. They lost him. He went out to Anaheim and stuff. So
Yeah.
I get it, but I mean, it just
Every team wants to have enforcer, but there's a difference now, like in today's world where it's enforcer and it's just scumbag, I guess is the best way to put it.
Yeah.
right.
Ryan Reeves, I respect the guy. I love him. And he's an enforcer. He's not the best hockey player, but he's not hitting somebody cheap.
No.
He'll fight you. He'll hit you hard, but he's not swinging his stick at somebody.
I'm curious to see because we're familiar with one of the Rangers when he was on another team, and he was kind of dirty in the playoffs. Remember, Barclay Goodrow.
Barclay Goodrow. Yeah, when he played for Tampa.
He plays a pretty honest game
Yeah.
most of the time, and he's a very good player. He's very important.
I think he's going to be a cap casualty. Put it that way. First off, he's getting $4.5 million. That's too much for a player he is, and they don't really need him at this point. Fourth line winger. And
Well-
he'll score like 10 goals on the year probably. He probably doesn't
But
even have 10.
There's
yet,
that
but-
grit you're talking about,
Yeah,
and
Come
you,
play
you
a
got,
private-
I guess
and
the
he's got that
Rangers
play-
needed him 2 years ago because he's a winner. The Rangers started to go down this slope, and let's get somebody from Tampa. He's a little bit of an enforcer
just-
type.
They
and he's
took
a
everybody
winner.
from us
Yeah.
and won a
he's
cup.
gay. He could
Yeah.
put the puck in too. You know, I mean, he
Yeah,
doesn't get
JT
many
Miller
minutes,
still
but
stings. The
Yeah.
Rangers, if they had JT Miller right now, I would
Yeah.
say like we're winning the cup. I'm
Yeah.
still worried about. I'm skeptical always. The Rangers always blow it, but
we'll see.
JT Miller would be huge on the Rangers right now. Zuccarello too. It's just we
Yeah.
gave up a lot, and they've developed players very well. And you can't pay everybody. I understand that unless
Yeah.
you're Tampa, where they're injured with a broken,
Yeah, bro.
or sprained middle finger, and
And yeah,
they
how
can't play for 4 months.
how
Let's trade
40.
for the best players in the league.
Yep.
That rule, thank God, has been changed, but that was
Yeah.
ridiculous. Tampa's Cup run that year.
yeah.
Let's
Yep,
put
the Islanders
all
were
our
casualty
older
of that.
players on IR so we can add whoever we want.
Yeah, it's the new thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the other one that I think is ridiculous, which is what's going on now, is you have teams that are carrying contracts for players to play on other teams, and then they're getting fucking draft compensation and shit in return. It's
Yeah.
like, so this team is going to play technically $5 million over the cap, but fucking, I don't know, pick a random team. I forgot who. I don't know. I think it's
Like a bottom team with a lot
Arizona
of cap
probably has
space.
Yeah,
50 million
Arizona
of cap
or
space,
whatever.
yeah.
Arizona was famous for that. Arizona, I think they picked up fucking. Remember when they picked up Pavel Datsuk because they
Yeah,
needed.
he was retired.
He
He
was
wasn't
retired,
coming
but
back.
they
He
picked
was
him
old
up.
enough
Knights
for
picked up
Arizona.
a few contracts to get draft picks.
Yeah, the Islanders.
Remember?
Who the Islanders?
No, the
Golden
Golden
Knights.
Oh,
Knights.
the Golden
they
Knights.
did.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This season that they gave up draft picks so that teams can hold contracts.
Mhm.
And how is that fucking
It'll probably be
creating
fixed
actual
too, for
parity
sure.
in the league? I don't get it.
It breaks the parity.
It kills the parity.
Yeah,
It kills it
if
because
there is parity, and then they just kind of
I mean,
slices
For
off
example, it's
into.
like Blake Wheeler now. He got nothing from the Rangers. Say he was still making $8 million like he used to.
that
Oh,
would
we'll
have
give you
killed
a
him.
second round pick, Arizona. Take him off our books.
Yeah.
It's a similar scenario to that, and that's Arizona doesn't care. He's gone after the year. He's not going to play a game for them, and now they get a free draft pick.
And I think each team can carry two or three players from another team that like carry a contract.
I
for
think
it.
it's 3. Yeah.
Three.
So
It's
it's they're just racking up 3 draft picks. They're not winning this year anyway. They don't care.
Yeah.
Right.
and it helps them because they gotta get to the cap floor. They gotta stay within the within
Yes,
their.
for sure.
So it kind of fucks up everything.
It's a little flawed system, without a doubt.
It's you find the loopholes, and I'm not going to cross sports too much, but with that whole Shohei Ohtani contract,
Yeah, baseball. I was thinking the same
You
thing.
know, like,
it's
it's-
insane.
it just fucks everything. Shohei Ohtani signs for $70 million a year, but what's he making? $2 million a year.
And I think
Why?
the cap hit comes out to 30 something, I believe, if
Yeah.
I'm right with Otani.
So now this guy,
On the luxury tax hit, there's no cap in
Yeah.
baseball. But
And he's gambling like 15
Yeah.
something.
no, his interpreter.
Okay.
His
Yeah.
interpreter. Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
And
if you
Will
if you
Smith
believe
just
that,
signed,
then,
they signed their catcher 10 years, 140 million.
Yeah.
And I found that's half deferred too. So he's making like on the books $6 million a year. It's like insane.
You say Will Smith?
Not the Fresh Prince.
No,
That's
no,
his
no.
nickname.
He's
not the-
nasty.
Yeah.
He's nasty. He's a really good hitter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
how-
catcher for
how
the Dodgers
weird-
got 10 years for 140 million.
So
But I think his actual value each per season is like 6 million against the cap, which the luxury tax. Keep saying cap, we're talking hockey, but
So can we
It's
just real
crazy.
quick to just digress real quick because you mentioned Will Smith. So how strange is it that there are 3 Will Smiths across 3 different fields, all 3 rather, pretty talented in what they're doing. You got Will Smith, the actor, right? You got Will Smith, the hockey player who just got drafted like 3rd overall.
Mhm.
And then you got Will Smith, the fucking baseball player.
there's 2 in baseball. The pitcher, lefty pitcher.
Oh,
too.
shit,
Remember
there's-
him? Yeah.
Oh shit. So
I didn't even know that.
I got to name my son Will Smith. I
He
think
was,
that's where we're going. I think that's what we're
Astros,
getting at.
Braves, Giants. Will Smith's bounced around. He's been the pitcher's been around forever too.
Yeah, I think I'm naming my son Will Smith.
But only one can slap like he will Smith.
Keep my wife's name out your motherfucking mouth.
No, you gotta show some anger when you do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was crazy.
But anyway, so this playoff race is really starting to heat up. Playoffs start April 20th, I believe, right? We got like 2.5 weeks or something.
Everybody's got like 5 or 6 games left, so
Yeah.
it's like 3 weeks away.
So just to do a quick look at where are the standings? I have so many fucking things pulled up that I don't know where I put the standings.
I'm going to ruin everything.
who
Go
are
to
you
the
trying to
bathroom
find
real
out
quick, by the way,
about?
guys.
Was that?
Sorry, go to the bathroom real
Oh,
quick.
yep.
Oh, you're just looking at the standings?
Yeah, I'm just pulling up the standings. All right, we're back to a 2-man tandem. We're killing a penalty right now. Shorthanded right here. All right, so we'll fill Mark in as we go. So right now,
Is it a minor penalty, which means number 1, or a major?
I think it's a
which would
minor
be number
penalty.
2?
I think it's a. We can't even say it's a 2-minute major because 2-minute minor because then it's like fuck. Is that a number 2?
Yeah, no, it's too confusing.
So while Mark is doing his thing in the penalty box, we will go over the points leaders.
So what do we say? The West is pretty decided, right? I mean, I
The
don't
West-
think the Blues were, as of like yesterday, still trying to get in. I don't know.
Right.
I mean, they're pretty. They still got.
So the Islanders got a win tonight. They are now in the second wild card spot, also tied, but not with because they don't have the tiebreakers. They're technically in the second wild card spot, both with 83 points. Behind them is Washington, who lost tonight. Tied with them is Detroit, who plays the Rangers tomorrow. Pittsburgh won tonight. They beat the Capitals. So basically, in the East, we have a race between the Flyers, the Islanders, the Capitals, the Penguins, and the Red Wings. Right.
Buffalo's and Jersey are technically
So-
still not dead either, too, looking at the standings.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
technically, schmechnically.
Technically.
And
5
we
points
looked
back with 6 to play. It's
No,
2.5 games of
Yeah.
5. I've seen the Mets do worse. So.
with 6 to go. I looked through the entire schedule. There's not that many games
Many
with
matches.
teams that are that are close that
Yeah.
are gonna get both points, or someone's gonna get points. It's one of these teams that are fighting against like a much better team
Yeah.
usually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Boston's playing a lot of those teams, and the Islanders, unfortunately, have the Rangers twice.
The
I
Islanders
don't
are-
think
I-
that's unfortunate. And
Yeah,
I'll
the
tell
thing
you
is
why,
this-
because it's
yeah,
a
the thing is this
rivalry.
year-
It's a rivalry game. The Rangers actually, if the Islanders are going to beat the Rangers, it's going to be a time like now when
Yeah.
the Rangers already have clinched, and the Islanders are playing for a lot more,
They're playing for everything.
and they're playing a little better than they were. And let's be real,
They actually
It's
have two.
desperate.
that
The
Stadium
Rangers
Series
are
game, they
desperate.
had them. They gave them the game by being undisciplined.
Yeah, those penalties killed them, of
Yeah.
course. The
And that-
Rangers,
and
though,
it
still
didn't help
need it.
because-
they can't lose that home ice to Carolina. Carolina's so good in their house, so the Rangers are still going to be focused, but I get the desperation aspect of the
Yeah.
Islanders. The Rangers don't have that. At the end of the day, we fall to Carolina. We're in the playoffs. We're
Carolina wasn't
We're gonna
that good in their
have
house tonight.
good. No, but Boston's up there, too. And it's-
Yeah,
So
anybody could beat anybody on any given.
correct.
Tampa's running away with the first wild card.
Yeah,
Nobody's-
that they're. I think
They
they're
already-
locked or they're almost. Yeah, one probably after tomorrow's.
They're
game, they'll be
10-0 and
locked if
1
they
now?
win, yeah,
In their West,
They are
8-1.
8-1 their last 10 games. They've been on absolute fucking tear since the deadline. They are the general consensus
Scary.
amongst us, probably the least, the team that nobody wants to play,
No,
right?
no.
if
Probably.
Vasilevsky's locked in, they might win the cup again. They
Yeah.
could definitely.
And tonight we had a very good matchup, which, if things fall, could actually turn out to be the Eastern Conference Championship between
Boston and Carolina.
Boston and Carolina. And Boston took that one.
I beg to differ, but
I mean,
We'll
it's
I
a plausible thing. It's a
I
plausible.
would love the
plausible thing.
Lightning to take out the Boston the first round. That'd be amazing.
That's also a very plausible thing.
I think
It's
the
possible
Bruins are going
without a
out first round.
I think so too. I
Versus
still
the
don't have
Lightning,
any
with
faith.
it,
in
They
it.
could, without a doubt.
So, all right. So
Let's
those
see who they play.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mark's not counting out Buffalo and New Jersey. Rich and I are kind of counting.
Unlikely.
More than
They're
likely,
still there.
they're still there. They're not
still gonna
mathematically
fight.
eliminated.
I
So
mean,
you got five teams trying to get into basically 2 spots. The third, well, actually, no, not even, because the Metro could only go to Washington or New York, right?
yeah, or the Penguins.
The Penguins too, I guess, right?
Yeah.
Detroit's not in the
Detroit.
Metro,
can
right?
No,
get that.
Detroit's with the
only
Lightning
chance
in
is
the
the
Lightning's
second wild
division.
card. Yeah.
So,
But Islanders, Capitals, or Penguins could all take the third
Yeah.
seed in the
so
Metro without a doubt.
yeah, so there's 4 teams.
And the Capitals have
Looking
that
for that.
way important game in hand.
Yeah.
I see.
Mm-hmm.
So, all right. But now when we switch over to the West, things are a little bit less hectic over there. Winnipeg is going to clinch pretty much. They are beating Calgary
I think
right
this is
now.
highlights. I'm pretty sure they won already. Yeah, I think they won 3 to. Did they put the empty netter in?
So when we get to the wild card, Nashville is in the first wild card with 90
Now it's
points.
still going on. It's 11-16 to go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, I thought that was the third
Yeah.
period. That's my fault. It's the
So,
second still. When I was
Actually,
looking.
things. All right.
It
So
looks
St.
like it's
Louis
pretty
has
much,
7.
yeah. It's,
St. Louis has 7 games left.
they've been
They
a
are
little hot,
5
though,
points.
too.
5 points back.
Mm.
Oh, they're only
There's-
5 back?
Yeah, they're 7-2-1 in their last 10 games, so they're playing very well.
Okay, yeah.
My
Um,
boy Buchnevich. I'm
yep.
rooting for him.
Jake Neighbors.
So Los Angeles, Nashville, Vegas is kind of falling back a little bit, which has given Los Angeles, St. Louis, and Nashville, which went on that fucking heater.
Yeah.
Now
Now they lost 3 in a row.
they're lost 3 in a row. They're
Vegas
6-3.
heated back up, though.
Yeah, they're 7-2-1 as well in their
Yeah.
last 10.
Yeah, Eichel came back. They went on like a 6-game run, I think.
And if they play
Five or
Edmonton, they're
six.
beating Edmonton. I think so, at least.
Yeah, Edmonton is not. Edmonton's 5-3-2 in their last 10 games. They haven't played well since the deadline.
And it was the 16-game streak, right?
Yeah.
So you take that out, they're actually 29-29 without that. So they're a mediocre team.
But
without
they
that
also
winning streak.
had 9 in a row right after the coaching change. So that's
it's
27,
25.
25 games. That's 50 points right there.
Yeah, they're under 500 outside of those streaks.
So
They're a mediocre
they're-
team outside of it.
They're very
When they
streaky.
get hot, they get hot.
Yeah.
So they could win the cup. I could see Edmonton winning the cup
Yeah,
for sure.
I mean,
but I don't think it's happening.
No, I don't think it's Edmonton's year. They're still that team that
They
can't
need a
find.
goalie.
Yeah, they can't find an actual race car driver to drive that fucking race car. Which I would say would be. It seems like they found a coach that the team is listening to, but
yeah.
when running out Skinner and who's the fucking backup? Somebody.
The backup for Skinner. I know Skinner took. Didn't they get Jack Campbell and they sent him away?
Yeah,
right?
they sent. Yeah, he didn't last long at the beginning
Horrible.
of the season.
They
They signed
always-
him to a big
I
contract.
could see that too. You like certain teams, like you're a goalie for Toronto, you win games. Doesn't mean you're good.
Well,
You're a goalie for like certain teams. I feel like you just
yeah, but I think because going back to what we were saying with the Rangers always having good backups, Edmonton seemed to love the Rangers backups because they took
Talbot.
Talbot.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure didn't Valaket go there after?
Valquette did. Yeah, Ronta didn't. I'm trying to think who else. Might be it. But
Maybe.
no, I know they definitely took Talbot for sure, and he was mediocre there.
Yeah.
Just they have no defense. All their money's invested. Their scoring is insane, but they have no defense. And
Who, the Oilers?
Yeah, if they have defense, they're scorers. They're not defensive defensemen. They really don't have any way to stop you. And you can put any goalie in that net, and I don't think it could help you there. Really can't. I don't think Igor could win them a cup right now.
They were
It
playing
would help them, give them better odds if they had Igor or Sorokin, but I don't think they could win a cup just with that. I think their defense is just too soft. And
when what's his name took over. What's his name? Oh, God. What the hell is this guy's name?
the Oilers
with
coach
the
guy,
hair?
who's in now?
Oh, Anders
Knobloch.
Knobloch. Yeah, Knobloch.
Yeah, when he
Yeah.
took over and they went on that
yeah.
run, they were winning a lot of those games like 3-2.
See-
They were keeping the score down.
See, sorry, just because I just pulled this up because I'm not losing my mind. So Cam Talbot played for him. Andres Nielsen he was on the Islanders, right?
Islanders, yeah.
All right, so but not him. So Al
And they had
Montoya.
30 Nielsen's at the time.
Al
Nielsen's
Montoya,
and
he played for the Rangers and
Right.
the Islanders,
Yeah.
right? He played. So
He
that's
wasn't
2
good, though.
in the last 10 years.
Oh, in the last 10 years? You're trying to find goalies who played for both?
Yeah.
Beezer played for both.
Well, I'm saying just like because I was saying backup goalies that were played well for the Rangers
Oh, Halak.
and then wound up getting picked up by the Oilers.
Did Halak even get signed? Or is he still?
So
out
we
there
have
somewhere?
Al Montoya, Cam Talbot for sure. Victor Fast didn't, and Scrivens didn't. Laurent Brissot didn't, right? Anders Nielsen, no. Mikko Koskinen, no, right?
No, Koskinen was actually had a really good run for them too.
For the Oilers, yeah.
But they always have those guys.
Yeah, they always have-
Skinner was
Calvin.
on fire this year. He's obviously not a top shelf goalie, like
No.
a
But
championship
they never do.
level goalie.
Tommy Salo a long time
Yeah, I
ago.
love Mike Smith too. He had a great
Mike Smith
career.
had a good, yeah.
But they got him when he was old and
He
he
was
was on
done.
the
He was
last
done.
legs. And
Yep.
but he was doing good enough for them to get them to where they got to. But he's not carrying you to a cup, obviously.
No, none of these guys. None of them. That's been their problem.
I mean, Vegas won without a great goalie in my
That's-
mind.
Yeah, I was
So it's possible.
No, they played
but-
with a decent goalie that played great.
Yeah. Yeah, a guy that made a name for himself in the playoffs in that series because before that he was definitely not.
But could you see him out of the league in 5 years too? I could.
Yeah.
I don't think he's. They played amazing.
I think because he won a Stanley Cup, I think he'll continue to get chances.
He could bounce around
Probably.
before he fizzles out. That's
I
what's
think
gonna
he'll-
happen.
Because like I could see Jordan Binnington not being on the Blues next season.
No,
You know, and
I think
I could
he
see
had an amazing run for them.
like
Got
I could
them to
see
the cup.
Binnington actually as a guy
Oh
that
yeah.
I could see the Oilers, a guy like Binnington going to the Oilers.
But the
and I
problem
could
is
see
they
another
tied
failure.
So much in Jack Campbell, they're going to tie so much in Binnington. You're going to fail again like that.
But I mean,
could
I think
actually
with
see
at least,
Binnington being the Rangers' backup.
but I
and
think
being
with
great again.
Binnington, I think with Binnington, you at least get a guy who won a cup,
There's
you know, and-
experience there that does
like,
help
I
in the
mean,
playoffs. Without a
and
doubt.
he was a big part of that cup, and he was
Without
a
a
big part
doubt.
of getting them to the cup. It's not like Aiden Hill; he kind of was like perfect timing, you know, like
yeah,
they Vegas not taking anything away from him because Aiden Hill played amazing. He had phenomenal
for
numbers,
sure.
but like Vegas was on fire. They were probably destined to win that cup. I mean, they just had a phenomenal team. They were stacked. They were playing well together, and it was just a perfect storm. And again, the guy won a cup. Did he win the playoff MVP? No, that went to
Marchess.
Marcus
No,
Marchess,
did it?
yeah.
or Stone. Anyway,
That's a
either
good
way,
question.
Yeah.
but he had very good numbers. But that was
And
against-
Florida was hot too, and they
Yeah.
stopped them. Florida beat Boston. They knocked everybody out last
Yep.
year, and they weren't expected to be there, of course, either. They just got hot at the right time, and they ran through those playoffs, but Vegas stopped them in their tracks.
but that season,
It was Marshall show, yeah.
Marchess. So
Vegas had a couple of goalies. Robin Leonard was in net for them for a little while.
yeah.
Last year,
Fleury, right? Wasn't
You're
Fleury
saying
in
their
net for
first
them
cup
for a
run
little,
or
for a little
last
while?
year?
Last year.
they definitely didn't have Flurry last year.
Not last. Oh no. Oh yeah, the first one.
The first cup run, they had Leonard and Flurry, without
Yeah.
a doubt. Yeah.
Well, Leonard was already gone by last year, right? Because he had that crazy.
Last year
Yeah.
was Hill and Thompson.
But that wasn't all they had all season, though.
No, they definitely filtered through guys, without a doubt.
Oh yeah.
Hold on. Let's
Did
see.
they have Subban still? Malcolm Subban?
No, he played
He
somewhere
was
else
on
last
Vegas.
year.
Yeah, that guy has been on probably every team now, right?
Yeah.
I saw at this trade deadline he got traded again. I'm like, I didn't even know he was on that team. He's a backup goalie for like 15 different teams now.
Oh, Patara, right?
Yeah, Patera's this year.
This year. Let's see.
Is it still Hill and
Yuri?
Thompson this year? I feel like Thompson hasn't.
Yeah, Thompson's won his last 6 games. They're on. That's why he's like one of the big
Jonathan
reasons.
Quick was on the team.
Oh yeah, that's
yeah,
right.
we forgot.
Um,
They traded for
Aiden
Quick.
Hill, Laurent Brissant. He got some time last year.
Brossois.
Burswall.
Yeah, they just found somebody who's stuck. Aiden Hill did.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Aiden Hill, Logan Thompson, Jonathan Quick, Laurent Brissot.
But Aiden Hill, isn't that another like hits free agency Oilers give him $10 million a year and then he's terrible?
Yeah.
I could just see like that's what the Oilers' MO is. Jack Campbell, I could have told like the second he signed that contract, I said that's awful. He had a great
So-
year for Toronto.
Regular
Great year.
season last year, he played. Aiden Hill played 27 regular games, 25 starts,
Yeah.
16-7, 16-7, 915 save percentage, 245 goals against.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's solid.
That's basically what Binnington did on their cup run though too.
Yeah, but he
didn't play
played.
that whole year. He
but he-
came in the middle of the year.
Let's see how many.
What goalie did they have before Binnington? Now we're going years back, stretching my memory.
Yeah, that was
Wasn't it Jake Allen?
Jake Allen started. Yeah,
It was Jake Allen that year, and then maybe he got hurt or was just bad.
Bennington took over, and then Allen
Yeah,
got
Binnington
shipped off
just-
to
Montreal.
Montreal.
Now he's
So-
on Philly, right? Jake?
No, he's on Devils.
they won the cup
Right.
in 2021
I don't remember what year.
or 2021.
My last 4 years have been all fucked up.
They didn't
Oh,
win,
maybe
did they?
2018,
Hmm?
2019.
They won. Oh yeah, I'm going crazy. I'm thinking Boston won, but I'm like meshing years now together.
I can't even think.
Boston thought they were going to win.
Chance midway through 2018-19
Yeah,
season.
Boston beat.
So he played
Vancouver
32 games
back
that
in the day. I
season.
remember
Started
that.
30. He was 24
Oh,
and
that
5
was that was the Tim Thomas year, or was that?
with the
Rask.
His
Former
numbers-
Islander Tim Thomas.
His numbers down the stretch were he was 24-5, right?
Yeah, insane run.
189 goals against
Insane.
and 927 save percentage with 5 shutouts.
Who?
Bennington.
Bennington in the year
Yeah, he
that
only took
he
over
went, he
halfway
went to the
through.
cup. But then
They had to have a crazy run to even make playoffs that year. I remember too. They barely
Yeah.
sneaked in at the end because they're like
and then,
Bennington was on fire.
and then he won 30 the next year, 18, 18, 27, and then he's got 27 this year. I mean, there's no reason why that guy got this is why we completely digressed to this point. We got to this point. So there's no reason that guy
Oilers.
isn't worth a shot for
Edmonton with that.
Edmonton. I mean, you pick a team that's looking for some goaltending.
Yeah, put him in Toronto.
Put him in Toronto. Put him in Edmonton.
Watch how mad he gets every night.
Put it. Yeah.
Yeah, Samsonov is probably the guy there.
Yeah,
They-
Samsonov's
they're
sticking
very tied
around
to
now
him.
that he's healthy.
I
Yeah,
don't think he's very good either, but
He's not. He's a head case too.
that's his problem. Is
Yeah.
he's going to be remarkable when he's mentally clear, but as you've seen, he's not. He's very inconsistent mentally.
Mental. Yeah.
And he was
Yeah.
like that with Washington. That's why Washington let him go.
Yep.
If you notice, that's kind of how Vanacek is too,
a
and
team
that's why
filtered
Washington
through
let him go.
goalies,
Yeah.
Washington, that's a team that's filtered through.
Filter. Yeah.
Is
They.
Holtby even in the league anymore?
Mm-mm.
He's gone, right? He went to Dallas, and then that's it. He's just out. That's
that was
crazy.
it. I don't even know why.
He had a good run.
yeah,
Solid
he
run,
was
but-
he was really good for. He was like one of the top goalies for
Yeah, he had
a
it.
few years.
Yep.
Yeah, but they each one would have good runs, and then they'd realize they're not good. See
Yeah.
you later, and then
Holtby won the
What's the
cup,
next
right?
one?
With Trotz.
and then Kemper is like
Yes. He
good
was
enough.
Yeah. Darcy Kemper was.
He's good, but I liked him when he was with Arizona.
Washington's
He's
always.
solid.
Washington's always
Not
had
it,
a
though.
a solid all around team. You know, like they always had good defense. Obviously, on forward they had solid super. You know, they had superstars, but there was like when they were going, even though they only won the one cup, but when they were like in their prime, obviously most of their guys are either gone or older. But when they were in their prime, their whole team was just good. You know, I mean, that's why the goaltending, they didn't need top end goaltending, because they built a solid team, unlike Toronto, who's top heavy with forwards, and Edmonton, who's top heavy with forwards, and they're just trying to get by with scoring 6 goals a night, and it doesn't work.
This will lead me to this point. Linus Ullmark won the Vezina last year. If you had to rank him right now, where would you put him?
Somewhere outside the top 20.
Probably, I would say
Outside top 20?
I would say
That
top
might be a
15.
I was going to say outside top 10 without a doubt.
I'd
And he
say
won
top
the Vezina
15.
last year because it's just the team that's around him. It's just
Right.
insane how good that
But
team
I mean,
is.
if you do look at
If you say best goal in the league, I don't think he's even brought up in the conversation.
but if you
Without a
look at
doubt.
some of his, because I
He had
was
his
looking at
stats were insane last year. without a
Crazy.
Oh
doubt.
yeah,
his high percentage shots, all that stuff were very good.
he had a great year.
I
And I
don't
think-
think you could justify him as a top 10 goal in the league.
No, not now. No, maybe not even. I mean,
Even going into this year, I would have struggled to put him in the top 10. Forget about anything that's happened this year. I probably would have struggled to put him in the top 10.
It was almost predictable that Swayman was going to take that job just because
You ride
he
the hot
played
hand
so
and he
well
played
too.
great. Yeah.
that
well, they
year.
wanted to trade Swayman. Swayman was like this close to being traded at the deadline this year, and he was like, "No, I don't want to. I don't want to be traded." And he wouldn't waive his no trade clause. What are you looking up, sir?
Yeah,
He's
I
looking at the
I was
goalies
I,
right
I
now.
was a little hard
Thinking.
on Linus. I was a little hard on him.
Where is he in as against
He's
goals against
11th
average?
in goals against, or tied for 10th in goals
That's what I was
against
gonna
average.
say. Like out top 10 is a stretch for me. Top 20 might be a little harsh
You
on the
know
guy,
what?
but
Goals against average is more of like a
But
defensive stat.
I would look his stats up in Buffalo. I think he was absolutely awful.
God damn it,
right?
he's
What's the
six.
save percentage?
He's actually tied for 4th with Swayman, go figure, and Demko.
I like Thatcher Demko.
Thatcher Tempo is a
Good goalie.
beast. Yeah,
Yeah, well, you look at at how horseshit Vancouver became once he
You could
Went
look at
down.
that list though. I mean,
when
I'm
he
taking
was
Hellebuck, I'm taking Demko, I'm taking a lot of those guys.
this kid
over.
Hofer is good for the Blues.
they're finding Jimmy Hoffer before they find any humpback whale.
Bobrovsky's such a weird guy. Every time we say the guy's finished, he's done, they overpaid him.
Yep.
He goes on a crazy run.
Goes on-
It's like
I think he found his second
I would
leg.
take Saros over Olmark too. He's
Yeah,
Yeah, me
not had
too.
the best year, I guess.
I take
Sorokin 1,000%, of course.
I mean, I would probably take Kachekov over him too.
Igor, without a
Stuart
doubt.
Skinner, that 906, like we said, their defense isn't good. I don't know if you've watched a lot of games. He makes a lot of sick saves.
I don't think I'm taking him over Olmark though.
No, I'm not taking him over.
No, not overall, Mark. I'm just bringing
I
him
thought
up.
that's what
Like,
we're
yeah,
at.
no, just giving him a little bit of love because,
Tristan Jarry, forget it.
Yeah, Tristan Jarry. I think
Odinger too, without a doubt, is better than
Yeah.
Olmark.
yeah,
Andrew he's having a little bit of a down year this year, but he's a top end goalkeeper.
Gus-
I think
Gustafson
their
was the
defense
top
is a
3
little
guy
weak,
last
too.
year.
The Stars are becoming more like Edmonton, where just those games are insane. I look, it's 3-2, and next
Yeah.
thing I look, it's 6-4. I'm like, what just happened? Like, took a 5-minute break, and I look back, there's 4 goals in it. Like, I don't know. Vasilevsky, obviously, we don't have to even
Yeah,
question
that's
that.
yeah.
Montempo.
Is Carter Hart ever going to be allowed to play again?
Yeah,
We'll see.
Nope.
That's crazy.
That
In
guy's
Canada,
done.
those
More than likely
rules are
not.
so strict.
yeah.
They might not be allowed back in this country ever again, those guys.
Damn.
Yeah, see, we were talking like Kemper won a cup with Colorado.
Gorgiev, that's another
Gorgiev's
product of the
personal
system.
numbers
Yeah.
suck, but he's got 37 wins.
It's a product of the system, is what
So,
it
yeah.
is.
Yeah,
Because he's got 2 of the best defensemen in the game,
And one of the best teams, of
and
course.
one of the best
Right.
teams in front of him.
yeah. A couple of these goalies, like Skinner, he's way down in
You put
save
Sorokin or
percentage.
Igor in Colorado, no one's beating them.
No.
It's over. It's done. They can live with Gorgiev because how good their team is, but you put an elite goalie there, it's over. And the reason why they're not even in first place, I see they're in second right now, because they have Gorgiev. He's going to lose them some games without a doubt. As a Ranger fan, I've watched him lose plenty of games.
Yeah, it's another inconsistent guy.
Solid though.
He can.
Say he
He can
deserves
be.
to be in the NHL. I would say he's a very low starting caliber NHL goalie. Ideally, a good, very, very good backup. But
Mhm.
Colorado could live with that.
Yeah.
A lot of teams can.
Right. Colorado, yeah, they're so I mean they're pretty stacked on the back end. They're quick. You know, they're dangerous. They'll stand you up, you know.
Yeah, they have defensemen too. That's the thing. They have defensemen who will challenge you. Unlike Edmonton. Edmonton will fly right by you and score on will, but
Yeah.
there's no force of defense there. Colorado at least could defend a little. I know it's a high pace and they'll give up a lot of goals, a lot because of Gorgiev, but
Right.
if it's Colorado and Edmonton in a series, I'm taking Colorado every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
100%. I kind of, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of not sure about like the Colorado's depth still. Like I know that I know
don't see
that.
them making a cup run, but versus Edmonton for sure.
Yeah,
Dallas is probably a deeper team, and
they're
I
so
don't-
deep.
So
Their third line is Wyatt Johnston, Jamie Benn, and Stankoven.
Yeah.
That's their third line.
Their window is probably closing though too. I feel like guys are starting to get older. I mean, Robertson's insane, but
Yeah.
Sagan, those guys have been around forever. Jamie Benn's been around forever. It just
Yeah. I mean,
I
Ben still say he started scoring goals late in the season. I think
clutch
he's only got
for
like
money.
18
They
or
have
something.
experience, and they've been to a cup before. I mean, they lost to Tampa, but
Mhm.
that would be a team like if the Rangers weren't winning. Of course, I'm rooting for them. I wouldn't mind Dallas winning the cup.
I would definitely be okay with Dallas winning the cup. I like the way they built the team. I like some of their. They have a lot of guys. They're a lot of homegrown guys. I mean,
Yes, for sure.
Robertson,
Those guys have been there
Hintz.
forever.
and yeah,
Yeah,
Um,
Rick Hintz is
Ben-
good, too.
let's go down. You got Wyatt Johnston. You got
Stankoven.
Stankoven, yeah. Radek Faxa.
Goalies was growing there too,
Tidal.
right?
Oh
Yeah,
no,
I
Tidal
mean,
Landria
yeah.
came from.
Tidal Andrea is from
No, I thought
Philadelphia?
they drafted him.
is he from Philadelphia?
I thought they drafted him.
Let's look it up. Bob
Oettinger's homegrown though, right? Pretty sure.
Andrea, yeah.
Oettinger, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, he is. Heiskanen, Miro Heiskanen.
Yeah. Wrote by Hanks.
Yeah.
Yeah, drafted 13th overall by Dallas.
Mason
2000
Marchment, I think.
2018.
Mason Marchment's
Marchman's
badass
homegrown
too.
I
Who's
don't
that?
know why I feel like I picture him somewhere else. Marchman?
He's between two guys
Sagan
that
came from
aren't.
Boston, right?
Sagan's from Boston. He's
Yeah.
bounced around a little bit.
Yeah.
Are you thinking because you thinking of him in an Oilers jersey because of Brian Marchment?
It's possible. I'm like,
Maybe, yeah.
Chicago. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're so sick. I mean, look at their line. You got Hintz, Pavelski, and Robertson. Then you got Sagan, Duchesne, and we just talked about him. Sagan, Duchesne.
Wyatt Johnson.
No, Marchment.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. And then you got Ben, Johnston, Stankoven, and then Faxa, Delandria, and God help me on the left. It's not Craig Smith, is it?
Jamie Bennon, no. Robertson is the third, and why don't they? Where's the fourth? Left winger doesn't have whoever's. No, Dadonov maybe.
Oh yeah, that I don't know.
He's good too. And
Yeah.
they're just solid.
Yeah, no, I and they're well coached, and I can see them.
Yeah, I like them in the West, honestly. They're probably the best. I mean, besides Vegas, they're probably the best like actual team out there.
I think the East is a little more wide open. I feel like the West is only like Edmonton's not going to do it. We could all
Edmonton's not.
accept that.
No,
Yeah, for a minute I thought maybe they would, but now I'm not so sure.
I don't think the Kings have a chance really.
They were
Solid
fakers
team.
too.
I don't think they have
Yeah,
a chance, but
they went out and they wound up making a move for fucking Pierre-Luc Dubois, and he has not played well.
No,
He
I
has
don't know
been
what they were
like a-
expecting.
overrated guy's whole career.
Yeah.
And
And didn't
They gave
Line
up-
have like a horrible injury? I know he got traded for him, but it's like poor Patrick Line. They
Yeah.
traded
Yeah.
him straight up, but he went to Columbus and he was scoring like crazy. I remember last
Yep.
year,
yeah,
and then he had, I don't know if it was neck or back, something real bad, and he hasn't played. But Dubois is just very overrated. I think
Yeah, I
kid has a
agree.
lot of talent, but he's just
Oh,
not
that-
putting it up.
You
Yeah.
said it. That's exactly what it is. He's kind of like before this year. Barzal looks good this year, but
Yeah.
for like bookending the first year of his career and this year, everything else has sucked.
Yep.
And like as far as like actual hockey goes, like when you learn how to play hockey, it's like you watch what he did for all that
It's
time.
unfortunate too. I mean, it's unfair to some of them. The hype they get. Lafreniere is obviously not living up to what he's next Crosby.
But if you
everyone
look at-
said, but
if
he's
you look at
having an
his
amazing
numbers
year this year.
if you look at his numbers
Who?
as Lafreniere coming out of juniors, he put up some fucking crazy numbers.
Guy
Like
was
he,
scoring 70 goals in Canada.
yeah, like he
Yeah.
was. I forgot what there was some crazy stats, and he was. But did he go one or Kako went two, right? So he went one.
No, it was Jack Hughes and then Kako. Lafreniere was Byfield was 2.
Okay, so
Yeah.
so he went one. So yeah, so I mean,
And why
they-
couldn't we get one that year too? Imagine put Jack Hughes on the Rangers right now. It's over.
yeah,
Instead
Yeah,
of Capo Kako.
he hasn't looked great
I
since
try
he's
to
come
like the
back
guy. He
either,
had a
though.
huge goal yesterday. I know you didn't really say you saw the game, but he basically helped us win the game yesterday. But it was second overall pick. You expect a little more out of him. He's been hurt. He's been ineffective, and
Well, since
is
he's
what
come
it
back,
is.
it just looks like he's trying to do too much. Like he's not.
he doesn't
yeah.
have to on this team. At this point, just fill your role, and I would trade him. Lafreniere has been phenomenal though, and
So,
he's
yeah,
never going to be a
he's been
top 10
very
player
good.
in the league. But you don't give up on a 22-year-old number 1 overall pick. And
No.
I'm thankful the Rangers didn't trade him for a 32-year-old, very good to superstar player now.
Yeah.
Where
So Lafreniere for his 3 years with the Quebec Major Juniors, 80 points, 105 points, and 112 points. So
insanity. That's why
those
he's
are
projected to be the next
that's
Crosby.
why he wound up going number 1 overall.
Yeah.
So you could see what the hype was, but sometimes guys take a little while to pan out. I mean, coming out of his being drafted, he was a little bit small.
He's
right.
22 years old.
He's 22.
Yeah.
I gotta see.
Didn't he also have a strong showing at World Juniors? Like
Yeah.
when helped them win.
Yeah.
Mhm. I wonder if there's a way to look up what his draft weight was.
Yeah, I'll never.
Because right now he's 6 foot, not even 200 pounds.
Yeah, he needs to fill out a little
He's gonna
bit
fill-
more.
At 22, he still needs to fill out. He's a guy, 20, 24, 25. He starts to fill out. Maybe he gets a little bit more. He might come into his own. It probably won't be for the Rangers.
He's going to score 30 goals this year. They're not getting rid of him.
Maybe.
He just had a hat trick.
Yeah.
He's got 26.
It's
this
a
year.
contract year
Yeah.
this
20.
year?
No, I think he's got one
More season.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. Yeah, I mean, there's no
Kakko, I
rush.
think's gone after
Yeah, but
the
what
year.
could they give him though? Like how much?
Bro.
They don't really. They're not. I mean, I guess the cap's going to go up, so they'll have some more space. But
He might
Well-
kind of just have to take like a shorter 2 year. I mean,
He
at
might
that
have to-
age, you're going to be 23-year-old free agent, take a 2 year, play your ass off for 2 years, and then you
Yeah,
get
and
that
then-
monster contract if
Yeah.
you perform.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the ball's in their court, too, because you got to realize he's a restricted free agent. So,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
there's going to be, even if, like, a team throws a ridiculous offer sheet his way, it's considerable compensation,
compensation,
for
yeah,
what he might be making.
Yeah.
for sure.
And if he doesn't perform to that level, he's not getting teams aren't giving up the draft picks to it.
Yeah.
So,
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's about what he does next year. He's had an amazing year
Or this year in the playoffs.
That too.
Yeah.
He could have a
disappears in the
huge playoffs. I
or
mean,
he
Yeah.
shows up big. It's
Let's be real. You watch a lot. I've been watching. The guy has just gotten better and better.
of
Like,
course.
he's just gotten better and better, and he looks so comfortable out there every night.
And
I think it programmed my brain though too that he's the next Sidney Crosby. So off the bat, I'm like, he doesn't
Yeah.
have 25 goals in his first season. What is this guy doing? So it's an unfair expectation for the kid, but he's coming into his own finally.
Yeah, he's got the
And he's
right.
got a
the
ton
right
of
coach.
talent. And yeah, we have a great coach. I hated the signing actually at the time. Laviolette, not gonna lie.
I love that
But-
signing for you guys.
Bro, he
I
went
hated it.
home.
He'll tell you
Yeah.
I
Such a
hated
great
it at the
coach.
time,
yeah,
but
he's such a good coach.
I'll
Bro,
eat
just
my
look at
crow
the-
on that.
Look at the numbers everywhere he's gone. Just look at it, and look what he's doing
I
now.
had 4 or 5 other guys that I rather had, but I'm
Uh,
wrong. Clearly, I'm wrong.
So, I mean, Crosby's numbers in the in the Quebec Major Juniors were just insane. So, I mean, to
Yeah.
even say he's the next Crosby, only 2 seasons, 135 points and 168 points,
Wow.
and then right to the show, and then
But he had probably over 20 goals his first season in the league, right?
he had 39 and 63 for 102 points, and
In
then
his
he had
first year in the league.
Yeah.
Insane. Yeah.
Who's
So,
Sydney?
yeah.
No,
That's insane.
I mean, let's be real, and
Well,
he's
Lafreniere
still.
probably had 12 goals his first year. So when you're on that level to put up that low production, it's not fair.
But
It's not
look
fair
at
to
Joe
him, but-
Thornton. Joe Thornton was a bust in his first couple seasons,
Yeah.
and then all of a
he had
sudden,
an amazing career. I love Joe.
yeah,
Thornton.
Yeah,
he just
he
he just
filled up.
blew up. He
Even
was,
more when he went to the Sharks, but I love Joe Thornton.
Yeah, he's like over an assist a game player. Like would still bang you 20 goals,
Mhm, for
25
sure.
goals. He's great.
Yeah. No, him and Jumbo Joe and fucking and Little Joe, those guys, fucking Pavelski and fucking Thornton, that's why the Sharks were perennial fucking contenders every season.
Yeah.
Every season for what, 5 years? This is the Sharks' year. This is the Sharks' year.
Yeah.
And it never happened. But
With
it was,
Erik Karlsson, who's when he's healthy, he's amazing. But
and
what a shame on that guy's career. He's hurt all the time.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think the Penguins kind of backed themselves into a corner with that.
That's
wa-
an insane
was-
contract. Insane contract that they were willing to accept because the potential is there. But
They wanted to win the cup this year. They
Yeah.
know the window.
don't
That
have a
was the
chance.
whole story,
But
was
they-
that their window was closing.
for
So
sure.
you look, they made the big splash. They added not just on the back end. They put Riley Smith on
Yeah.
the team thinking he was going to bang 30 goals.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
he's got like
Not even
16 or
close, yeah.
17. But like he was to the point where he wasn't even playing with them, and then he's back with them now.
I think
but they
trading
dropped
off
him down to the
Gensel is
third.
waving the white flag where this like our team's done. They should rebuild. And it
Well-
might be hard to say. Would you trade Crosby?
I don't think he's getting traded.
I
can't
he's
imagine
probably
it.
going to retire with them.
I can't imagine he gets traded.
I mean, you've seen high-profile guys just finish. Tom Brady finished his career somewhere else.
Yeah.
You just assume they retire with their one team, but it's
Every
the amount
situation
you
is a
could
little
get.
unique.
Crosby's having an amazing year. His value will never be higher going into the offseason.
I mean, they could get a fucking killing for him.
And I don't think they can.
But
win.
the thing
I don't
is-
think they can win with their goaltending, especially too. Jari is not winning a cup.
He's gonna have a very fucking minimal trade clause, trade list.
Who,
Like,
Crosby?
Crosby. There'll be 5 teams. It'll be exclusive as
And I
fuck.
hate to say it, the Rangers will be on that list.
He probably will
Yeah.
be. It probably will be. But I can't imagine that they trade him to the Rangers. He'll probably be going to the east, not to the west. He'll
He's
probably-
the type of player and person that he's going to sit down with the organization. They're going to talk. They're going to
He
see
will
what's
want to help
best
them
for
out in the
both.
future too.
Yeah.
For sure.
Well, did you see what
He'll want to
Getzel?
take care of them.
Did you see what Getzel said?
That's Crosby's one of the best friends too. It's
Yeah, he wanted to stay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Getzel wanted to stay, and they said that they had a different direction for the team.
Yeah.
So I mean,
there is a rumor on the street though that Gensel like made a handshake agreement that after the year he'll come back.
oh, come back. It could
Like,
happen.
Go win a cup with the Canes maybe, and
Maybe,
then
yeah.
you come back after the year. We'll pay you. But he also wants stupid money. I heard $13 million a
He
year.
wants a lot of fucking
No,
money.
thank you. I wanted the Rangers more than anything to trade him in Carolina.
I mean,
Swooped
he's
in, but we cannot pay him $13 million a year.
Mm-mm.
no,
He
but
is
I mean,
a
he's
very
making
good
a
player,
case.
but that eats up a lot of cap.
So you're
I'd
telling me, all
rather
right,
keep our guys though. I'd rather keep Mika. I'd rather keep because then
Yeah.
you have to let someone else go if you're keeping Gensel.
so since the trade,
And he also does get hurt. He's not there every
Right.
game every year. It's
Not-
a risk now
yeah.
to give him 13, and now I gotta say goodbye to Mika. I gotta say goodbye to Fox. I gotta say goodbye to somebody because they're not getting rid of Fox. That's for sure. But you know my point.
Yeah.
One of our better players has to go to keep him. You
Right.
can't just pay everybody. It's not baseball.
Like
where
a
you just give
Schneider
everybody-
or a Miller.
Well,
You don't
they're-
want to
they're
do
cheap
that.
right now, and you can't get rid. I'm saying you might have to trade people as well, but they're not making anything right now. You're gonna have to get rid of one of the expensive guys to fit Gensel.
Oh, okay.
So-
yeah.
Yeah, like-
Getzel in 12 games with, so this season, well, in 12 games with Carolina, 3 goals, 14 assists, 17 points, plus 10.
So 17 points in 12 games.
Yeah,
How many
With
goals?
3 goals.
3 goals.
That team is very.
He's
easy to
got
set up
20.
people
He's
to.
got 25 goals on the season, and 44 assists on the season.
What's his games played in the last couple of years? Though I'm just curious.
So for his whole career,
I know he's
40,
missed
82, 82, 39, 56, 76.
So
well, this
39
year-
and 56 is a red
this
flag
year's-
right there. Just you're giving him 13 million. He missed half a season 2 years in a row.
Mhm.
Well, 2019, 2020 was the lockout shortened season.
All
So-
right.
Right, yeah, the COVID year. Too,
And then I think
for
they
sure.
only played 56 games the following season, right?
yeah.
I don't.
The
yeah, I don't
2020
remember.
year they cut it short, I guess. But
I
he,
try to forget those years.
No, he has. If that's the case, then he's actually
so it's
been-
really only the 2 seasons and the one
yeah. So 82,
39
82.
games, and then this year he was hurt for a little while.
One injury.
I mean, I don't know.
29.
13. I mean,
Is he over 30 yet? He's 29, I'm pretty sure.
he is 29. Yeah. So I mean, yeah, because if he's going to want 13 million for what, 5 years, 6 years, you can't give him
Maybe
that.
more if he's 29.
You can't.
He might
I-
want to get paid like McDavid money, which is ridiculous for him, obviously.
like he's banking on. He's going to have to bank on winning a cup and having a huge. Even if he's not the MVP, he's going to have a huge playoffs, and then people will be like, all right, his worth is still there because he was a big part of the Penguins Stanley Cup runs.
Huge
Big
playoff guy.
Big
If
part.
he helps the Canes win the cup, someone stupid will pay him for sure.
Mhm.
100%.
And maybe the richest contract in the league. Because you know who the highest paid player in the NBA is right now? I could give you 30 guesses. You'll never get it. Because I know you don't watch basketball. Jaylen Brown.
Really?
Mm-hmm. But now when his own teammate, Jason Tatum, Jokic, these guys are free agents. Look who raises the bar even more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm better than Jaylen Brown. So that's how it goes.
Yeah.
And now someone stupid's going to be desperate to take in, so want to get back to the playoffs. And now this is how it goes. The contracts keep going up, 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 up.
Yep.
And just
No, those prices everybody up. Well, it prices all the small guys up.
Well, that's what happened in baseball. Like, I feel like I saw someone got what was it, Cody Bellinger?
I think he had one good comeback year, and
he got like 30 million for 2 years or something. Yeah.
what the?
Yeah.
It was 2 years though, so it's more reasonable.
But
Yeah, like Otani, 70 million a year. That's just
that's insane. That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
and Juan Soto's getting 500 million next year. It's
Yeah,
contracts
especially
in sports are just going up like insane.
how he started out this season. That guy is gonna fucking have a monster
It's
season.
a contract year, and he knows it too, and he will
Yep.
have no loyalty to the Yankees.
No.
He was gone to the highest bidder, and I
Oh,
can
yeah.
promise you that.
Yep.
And I personally think he's going to be a Met because we have the richest owner in the sport, and we're already terrible. Our season's done this year, but
You
it's
got to
just-
win today. You got to win. Today.
Yeah, finally. They're done. I'm focused on the Rangers.
Yeah. It's funny because I think the Islanders are done and the fucking Pirates are fucking 6-1. Let's go, baby.
But the worst thing for hockey would be someone to pay Jake Gensel $13 million.
Oh,
Yeah,
Because
that
now
was
you have
destroyed.
Matthews, McDavid, McKinnon, all these guys. Oh, I want to raise.
Yeah.
Because I'm way better than this guy. And now the contracts go through the roof.
I think the first really ridiculous contract I ever saw was given out by the Rangers.
Oh, you could say the Rangers with plenty.
Oh,
Scott
Bobby
Gomez, Pablo
Holik
Bure.
was the first one, but I think before Gomez was
Yeah.
Bobby Holik got like
Mm.
$8 million a year, and that was a lot of money back then.
Yeah, because that was
That's
what,
15 million today, basically.
Yeah,
It's double. Pablo Bure, too. He was done.
He got a lot of
nothing. Lindros, I wouldn't say was a horrible contract. He had his concussion issues, but they overpaid for him, too. As the Glenn Sather years, it's terrible.
Yep.
oh
Let's
yeah,
just
big
overpay the
names.
superstars.
As a Redskin fan, I remember the fucking Redskins and the Rangers were both teams
Redskins
neck and
as
neck.
well. Yes.
They were fucking any
Heard a big
superstar.
name available.
Yep.
Give you the
Steiger
blank
was
check.
just like,
There you go.
how much do you want? All right, come on.
Remember
So-
Albert Hainsworth?
Yeah, Fat
that
Albert.
was the funniest thing
Hey,
ever.
Fat Albert.
Did he even make it through 2 of those 5 years? I don't
No.
think so.
No.
I don't trust guys who have not produced and in their contract year they want to show up.
How many times
Don't
have I-
pay those guys.
That's like my mantra on this fucking
Yeah.
on this show.
Yeah,
My mantra.
It's any sport.
Never,
really
never
is.
never trust a contract here.
And I don't necessarily say like these guys are all scumbags. I got paid. I don't care anymore. But it's like I feel like it's almost like internal. Like this is a contract year. I'm gonna bust my ass.
Mhm.
And now you got paid. You're like more relaxed. Like I'm secure in my life. I'm
Yeah.
all right. I don't have to
I don't. Yeah.
risk getting hurt. I don't have to put that full throttle out like I just did. So to overpay those guys who just did it in their contract year is a big mistake.
yeah.
Sure. So, all right. It is now 11:02, which means, in the sake of Jackson's sanity, which is our producer / stumbling down history road host, who is on our sister station WBABXYZT, and if you want to check them out,
Other words, youtube.com/stumbling down history.
yes, if you want to check them out, they are awesome. Jackson, thanks for letting us use your equipment. We'll return it back to the audio visual room shortly so that the AV club can use it next. On that note, Mark, I really appreciate you coming
Of
down.
course, had a great
me
time.
too.
We really hope we can see you.
For sure, I'll join
Um,
again whenever I can.
Yeah, definitely. This was a good time. And Rich, anything to say?
But not you.
But not you guys.
That's
Just
directed at me for the Rangers.
Just-
I get
no,
it.
Just you
no,
guys.
no. That's all. That's all.
not you guys, just you guys. All right. On that note, everything you guys do, aim top 90. Appreciate you.
Let's go Rangers.